Here's KATC Chief Meteorologist Rob Perillo.
Welcome back. Well, relatively quiet summer pattern continues, although we're going to probably see a few more afternoon storms tomorrow, a few in the afternoon each and every day, but rain chances after tomorrow staying in the 20% or less range until we get into next week. More on that and the tropics coming up in just a bit. But first off, let's paint the big picture as we take a look at the water vapor imagery, and we have this high pressure ridge that's over the western U.S., this low pressure trough that's picked up Isaias and put it in Canada. This is what's dominating our weather pattern, high pressure and a nice generally dry northerly flow aloft. You can see all this brown, that's all the dry air in the wake of this upper level trough. But in between, we're seeing impulses that are coming out of the high plains and the Rockies. In fact, this impulse here that we're seeing in Colorado moving into Kansas is going to get here for tomorrow evening, much like what we saw this little perturbation in that northwesterly flow today. That one emanated from the same area roughly 24 hours ago. So we're locked in this pattern where most of the day is pretty nice, and then you get some storms in the afternoon, some of which could be on the strong side, and that's what we saw today, especially across Cameron Parish. Look at the way it got lit up late this afternoon. Now just ground clutter out there, relatively quiet. Here's a 12-hour loop, and you can see not a whole lot going on, and the storms kicking up and then moving out into the Gulf, and tomorrow probably much the same. So here's the big picture. You see the storms locally and some of those big storms that off to the north and west. We get into the tropics, quiet in the Caribbean, much of the Atlantic basin, a couple of tropical waves right out here in the far eastern Atlantic. And sometimes we got to look into Africa, and we see some tropical waves here, some healthier tropical waves as you get into the central and northeastern part of the continent. And you can actually track these waves that go all the way through the Arabian Sea and the Bay of Bengal. So it's all connected. So we watch this, and this is going to get more active in the next week or two. That means the Atlantic basin is going to get more active in a week to 2 weeks to 3 weeks down the road. Right now, just a little bit of a disturbance south and west of Bermuda, drifting southwest. Don't think this is going to do much. Not a Gulf of Mexico threat. And Isaias finally out of the U.S. The National Hurricane Center downgrading this to now post-tropical storm or tropical system. Well, I'm not even going to say it anymore because we're done with this system. I read it and I want to say Isaias. Well, I'm done with you. So let's get out of that. So as we take a look at tropical season, and we look at the number of tropical storms, hurricanes, and major storms, we have this mountain to climb here. This is where we are right now, and this is the Louisiana prime time. So we're still a couple of weeks away before things really get going. And as for the names, well, at least they're a lot easier to pronounce, but already 9 names knocked off, and we're probably going to get well into the back end of these names the way things are going. In fact, Dr. Phil Klotzpah is coming out with a new updated hurricane forecast tomorrow. And everything he's putting out on Twitter today is just telling us it's going to be one of the busier seasons they have been forecasting for decades. So watch out down the road. And some folks think I get excited about it, but I'm invested like you. I don't look forward to these storm systems, and it's a lot of overtime as well. So let's hurry up and get to November. In the near term, nice and quiet. Tomorrow we'll see those showers and thunderstorms developing during the course of the afternoon. And again, a little bit more coverage, and this model also backing up the earlier model we showed you. And then going into Thursday, we're going to see probably fewer storms, so we'll lower rain chance down to about 20%. So overnight tonight, relatively nice evening fair. Skies temperatures low to mid 70s. Then for tomorrow, 93 the high, so another hot August day all in all. Scattered storms late in the day at about 30%. And as we move on, rain chances 20% or less, highs in the lower 90s, overnight lows in the mid 70s, and no more tropical systems that we have a hard time pronouncing, and that's the best news of all. That's it for weather for now. We'll be right back right after this.